be calling you a radical, and so a lot of people have been asking me, well, what's the big deal with the big Z nuclear reactor has no energy? Why do nuclear energy reactors have to have energy, even electricity, when they're not producing electricity? I thought they were there to make electricity, not suck it up, and they'll try to make it all colluded and make it gooey and messy and like, oh yay, we're nuclear physicists, we got to make this complicated. It's not that complicated, because the fucking things aren't there to make electricity. They're there to make nuclear waste, to make bombs, sugar wars, mass wars, textile wars, cocaine cowboys, plutonium wars. Do you know about spent fuel? So the big cores go in, the rods, there's bundles, there's 210, big long with the pellets in them, which are uranium-238 by the time they get into the pellet. They start out as uranium-238. They centrifuge it. Fission versus fusion, they're basically the same thing. It's a gas process. They use a hex gas to induce it. Then they spin it and collide them together. And leaves fucking such grotesque, horrific byproducts, including plutonium. Then the pellets go in. They make it about 18 months. And they got to be changed out. Well, they're all done. No, they're not all done. They're still hot, hot, hot. Nuclear meltdowns are hot, 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 Fukushima. So they pull them up out with cranes, and then they immediately put them into swimming pools. Well, them swimming pools have to have electricity because they have to keep cool in the summer. They can't freeze in the winter. There's more spent fuel at the Big Z in Ukraine probably than anywhere on Earth. There was more of it at Fukushima, Japan, but where's all that? And including MOX fuel. And MOX fuel is against the law in the United States, so we shipped it to Japan. What's that? Mixed oxide fuel. They gas it to make it even stronger, to turn it into weapons grade, to make nuclear bombs. Well, guess what? It's legal in Ukraine. Why do you think Putin wants it so bad? And, you know, now they're coming out and saying, there's interviews all over with this plant manager that worked for 10 years, and there's reports that now Ukraine themselves has come out and labeled him a traitor. Said he's nothing but a liar. So, and they're still interviewing him. 1 minute he's a traitor, next minute he's a fucking hero, next minute he's doing a video at gunpoint, next minute he's not. I mean, the whole fucking thing's so fucked up. So they have to have electricity, not just to keep their spent fuel pools cool. They're dry canisters. What's a dry canister? So there's no repository, there's no place to put this thing. There's 7 reactors over there. There's actually 6 electrical reactors and the experimental reactor, which is even bigger than that, one of the biggest experimental reactors on Earth. Power gets knocked down to them. When power goes out of a nuclear core, it's extremely dangerous. We call those scrams in the world. The nuclear rallying cheerleaders and their scale in the IAEA, they have a scale, right? Of nuclear disasters, nuclear accidents. All Fukushima was only 7. Chernobyl was only 7. What? The scale goes to 7. A scram's a 3. We had a scram at San Onofre. You wouldn't even know that was Kevin Blanch. On January 30, 2012, I reported it from the bone marrow transplant center at LDS, full of cancer. So what do they do when it's a scram? So it takes a core literally months to cool down. Months. You heard me right, months. They slowly have to walk it back. Slowly. So when the power accidentally or, you know, on purpose, whatever, gets knocked out, it surges back into the core. So what do? They have to open the valve. What's the valve? It releases all that radioactive material into the atmosphere. Now, did they do that at the Big Z? Most likely, I don't know. I mean, but they did say that it's all knocked out. You know, believe it or not, over there, their giant swimming pool facility, their giant spent fuel facility, which is gigantic, believe it or not, they use a sprinkling system on it in the summer to keep it cool. So they said the backup power was knocked out. So what happens then? All these reactors have diesel generators built into them. Real clean, that clean, nice diesel. So they kick in, but they're built to be very temporary. Very temporary, and they're very shoddy and sketchy. Whether they work or they don't work. And they're surely not built to go on for months. You know, and so it's a very temporary thing, you know, until they can get the power hooked right back up. Well, this whole situation is beyond a nightmare. So that's why electricity knocked out. And think about it. I thought they were there to make electricity. See these big power lines that run? There's a power station right there. Hydroelectric. Yeah. We use natural gas here in Utah. There's some hydroelectric around here along the mighty Weber, but we have no water. There's no water. Fucking, we're in a mega fucking drought from hell. Just another Fukushima coincidence. So this whole fairy tale, clean grain, too cheap to meter, nuclear energy is just that. It's fucking bullshit. And the more evidence that comes out to you right in your face, and you cannot connect dots. We need more. Just like here in Utah. You could ask 10,000 people, well, what about this new scale, these little SMR reactors that we've paid $750 million for the last decade to Jose Reyes up in Idaho National Lab in Oregon, who worked for Idaho National Lab, who the head of the NRC that proved it was his ex-business partner, probably lover too. They worked together at Idaho National. A little collusion there, huh? A little conflict of interest. You can ask 1,000, 10,000 people here. Well, it comes right out of your bill. It's called amps. Look at your power bill. It comes right out. What about it? 1,000 for 1,000. Won't even know what the fuck you're talking about. That's the whole nuclear industry. They try to make it sound like it's all complicated. And it's just so complicated. It's not that complicated. They're there to make people rich. They're there to make fucking nuclear waste for nuclear bombs. There's a lot of money in plutonium. And that's where you get it. The spent fuel off of nuclear energy reactors, where you get the fucking, to make nuclear bombs. So don't let them bullshit you. Now what's going on over there? The IEA, they'll say this. Yeah, okay. I was in Vienna when they voted Gross in. I've talked to him multiple times. I know him personally. I knew Amano. I mean, we talked to Amano when Amano went to Fukushima, Japan. Me and Sandra both told him, you'll get cancer if you go there. And I was there. I was in Vienna when he died. Hopefully be back in Vienna here very shortly, next month, for the IAEA General Assembly. I don't know if I can raise the money. So, I was there. Oh no, couldn't have been cancer. Couldn't have. The lead. I'll tell you how effective I am with my activism. That's why I get no traction on lamestream media. When the lead attorney for the IAEA comes out to me and says, Kevin, you've caused so much of a fucking stir here. We want your top 10 grievances. Rattle them off fast. Oh, I kicked them down. Boom, 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 boom. And number 1 was Fukushima. You know, and number 5 was the Big Z. You know, and their spent fuel containment. You know, you think Putin get desperate, getting backed into a corner? Well, I don't know. We'll see, but could happen, might happen. Already happened at Fukushima, Japan, and you want more nuclear energy. It takes more electricity to keep one of those fucking things open than they produce. But it's boil the Earth's water over and over and over and over and use all kinds of fucking electricity. That's going to fucking, boiling the Earth's water going to fucking cool the Earth. Okay. Okay, you seen the steam that comes out of the top of those cooling towers? Put a pan on your stove and boil the water, then put your hand, 4 or 5 inches above. See how long your fucking skin fucking hangs on. And not only that, the water they suck up, the intake, outtake valves, go to the outtake valve on any of these. They're all built on ocean and waterways. And take your thermometer down there and measure how hot the water comes out. By the way, when you boil water, it kills all the fucking, the insects, the photoplankton, the microbes, the stuff of life. And the nuclear energy, they boil all the Earth's water over and over and over and over and over. So, keep falling for it. Keep falling for your fucking nuclear energy. It's there for one reason, to make people fucking rich. And you're still falling for it. By the way, uranium renaissance, yay. Okay. When Fukushima happened, 104 nuclear reactors in the United States. There's 68 right now. There'd be a lot less if Status King Cuomo, New York, wouldn't have bailed them out. They bailed them out here in Utah, and then we don't even produce it. We just store it. We're the toilet. Now Gavin wants to bail out Diablo Canyon, something we don't even use. Where's the rolling blackouts? Where's the rolling blackouts in Japan? When they said that nuclear energy made up 70% of the grid. 58 reactors. They've been offline the whole time. There's no rolling blackouts there. Because the nuclear energy, how do you know the nuclear energy crime syndicate is lying? Their lips are moving. Or their keyboard is fucking moving. And they just fire the propaganda. And think about all these rats that work for the propagandists. Hell's got a special place for every one of those fucking losers. But we know in Americana, people will do any for money. Feed the U.S. it. Mikey will eat anything. Including nuclear energy bullshit. Stay tuned.